Nick Community High School. My name is Caleb Zaborski, and welcome back to your weekly weather forecast. It's been quite a while since I've done this. It's been about a month or so, but we have exciting developments. And I say we because we have a new weather forecaster that will be taking over my job next year. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Jenna, and I'll be taking over next year. Yeah.
What's your grade?
I'm freshman or sophomore next year.
Perfect. So she'll be taking over for the next sophomore, junior, senior year, 3 years. Um, Now that's not saying anyone else could join, because I think having a good group of people that like doing the weather would be wonderful. But I do wish Jenna good luck, taking over this tedious job next year. Then, with that being said, let's hop into the forecast for this week. So Monday we start the 5th of May. It's been about a month. And we start the track meet a high of around low 50s and a low around the low 40s. Could be a little bit cold for it being May. Also, you just got back from prom. Prom is gonna be a little bit kind of cold and musty. It's not gonna be that fun. But you're gonna see over this week it does get better. So obviously Tuesday we have baseball, softball, volleyball going on. A high around the mid 60s, a low in the low 40s. Gets hotter. Wednesday gets a little bit colder. We have honors night going on for the seniors, JV baseball, and then the frosh track going on. It gets a little bit colder, like I said, a high of low 60s, a low in the low 50s. Kind of keep that same trend on Thursday with soccer and softball going on. Once again, a high in the low 60s and a low in the mid 40s. Friday, once again, kind of keeping this general consistent temperature trend. Friday, baseball, softball, and a volleyball triangular going on. A high in the low 60s and a low in the mid 40s. Saturday does get actually warmer. I know, it's a surprise now. We have a varsity softball doubleheader for that day. A high in the high 60s, a low in the low 50s. And then Sunday should be the apex of the heats with a high in the low 70s and a low in the low 50s. So overall, compared to what we've been experiencing, we very consistent temperatures. And now I'm going to pass it on to Jenna to do the precipitation and temperature outlooks.
Up here in the north, the temperature will be like above. In south
East.
what east west. Okay. Southwest is lower than normal, and
Precipitation.
precipitation. Okay, precipitation in all here will be above. So and then in the east it's below, or in this thing is near normal.
Yeah. Perfect. And then kind of because obviously we've been gone for about a month, what's been happening? Let's hop right in. So we've had a lot of days this year weather that I've not been catching up on. I've been tracking it like day of events. I've been forecasting every single day, but I've not been able to put it into kind of a forecast. So this is for roughly April 24th, 25th. We had these mesoscale days, which means that you take this one boundary or like there's like this one condition that needs to happen for like a localized outbreak to occur. It does not mean tornadoes. It could mean hail. Could be winds. But in those days at Texas and Oklahoma, just the right conditions popped up and some beautiful tornadoes did occur. It was actually pretty impressive. And for the 24th, hopping right more into that, there was a high end EF1 in Texas, but based on radar presentation and how chasers were looking at it, it was much, much stronger. Obviously, when you're in like the panhandle of Texas, there's not much you can hit that would get you a stronger rating than maybe EF1, EF2 even. And then I know you see synoptically supported events in Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. That basically means that general conditions were supportive of severe weather regardless of different factors. But with that being said, you're gonna see right below Iowa bust on that day. Bust is kind of this meme turn, I guess, in the weather enterprise, where if some sort of event does not go as forecast, like let's say outbreak of tornadoes and nothing happens, then we call it a bust. The event busted. It did not do anything. But the day before that actually had an incredible supercell in Nebraska. It was called a Triple Point event. That was 27th of April. We had a tornado that was 1.25 miles wide. It was an EF2, but based on, once again, radar and chaser like presentation, it was likely much, much stronger, probably into the violent tornado range. And then right here is solar weather now. This is active region 4079. This kind of came back in rotation after the sun rotated. And this was a previous region that was super active as it was leaving like our view. And now that it's back, it's super large. It's somewhat complex. So you could see some solar flares from it in the coming days. And maybe that gives us the chance to see the aurora, but obviously it's still up in the air. Going on. Just before we close out, this is that tornado that happened in Nebraska. Once again, super wide. You see the motion on it. It's definitely a violent tornado. But with that being said, I'm gonna let Jenna close us out. So
Um,
how you want?
so thank you for listening. This is Weekly Weather Forecast 30.